Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, where we celebrate what's going on in the Central Valley. Good things are going on, and there's so many of them happening. By the way, we've been talking on this show, not just this show, you see it everywhere, TikTok, everywhere. They're talking about your gut, getting your gut healthy and stuff like that. Well, just so happened I know somebody who knows a lot about getting the gut healthy, and that is my friend Mark McAfee with Raw Farm. Welcome, Mark.
Known you for years, buddy.
Yeah, you've been coming on this show longer than anybody else.
You can claim that you got me first.
By the way, look at the camera. I look taller than you. I am taller than you, Mark, because I've been drinking the raw milk. In real life, he's about a foot taller than I am, but I gave him the trick chair, I guess. What raw? You mean raw milk?
Raw milk,
What's that all
straight from the
about?
cow, unchanged by any kind of processing. And tremendous amount of value there that's lost in pasteurization. The bioactives, as they say, the word bioactives is actually a scientific term. And it's interesting. I'll quote Dr. Tien Lin of Cornell University, supported and funded by the National Dairy Council. This is not the raw milk guys. These are the guys that pasteurize.
They do pasteurize.
They do a lot of pasteurize. The National Dairy Council is the big dairy guys. They identified that after COVID in 2021, consumers were wanting these bioactives that are so anti-inflammatory, antivirus, anti-carcinogenic, anti-tumor, all the things found in breast milk, by the way, because humans are mammals, and take those things out of raw milk and make a new patented food. This is a massive study done in 2021. So, quote, the other side has completely supported what we're doing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
We just make the milk safe. We do testing, good conditions, healthy cows, chill the milk immediately when it comes out of the cow. All those things to make sure the milk is safe, and people love it. It's delicious.
It is delicious. Now, I watching these videos and TikToks and YouTube about the belly gut.
Yeah, the gut.
And people are always trying to sell me something, a product, something synthetic that they made that's going to get the good.
Gut, yeah.
What do you call it? Good?
It's the gut microbiome.
Microbiome.
And the interesting thing is the scientists have told us, and they've just discovered this in the last 20 years. It's not something that's particularly old. Although I will say Hippocrates said this, all disease begins in the gut 2,500 years ago, the Greek doctor. But the scientists tell us that 80% of our immune system is the gut microbiome, which is the food and the bacteria in your gut. It's that churning, digesting area down in our gut. The intestinal area is where 80% of our immune system is. Well, you remember back to COVID, they said, don't come to the hospital, we can't help you because if you're sick, we can't help you. Well, the bottom line is if you have a strong immune system, you can help yourself. And that's what's really exciting that people are saying, wait a minute, why don't I build a strong gut microbiome so I can be adaptive and resistant to the thing coming next year? And so people are waking up to that. It's exciting.
Yeah, we do things that kill the good, what do you call them, germs,
the bacteria, the cultures, the biodiversity. Yeah, antibiotics do it. Now, antibiotics can save your life.
Yeah.
But once you've taken around antibiotics, you better rebuild those bacteria, and you make them stronger and better by eating whole foods that don't have preservatives, antibiotics in them, but also making sure you ingest a biodiversity. You have different kinds of bacteria that get to your gut. And that's where raw milk and raw milk kefir can really add that diversity of good bacteria back into your gut if you've lost them.
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, Mike, this is kind of fun. I'm Scottish, McAfee, right? Been to Scotland a couple times, love it. I got a call, an email from Dr. Mike Butler. He's a Scotchman, and he wants to change the laws in Scotland to allow legal raw milk. And so he's invited me to participate with him to create world-class raw milk for the Scottish people. I am so excited about that.
Are you amazed that you have to have a law to do that?
Well, they made raw milk illegal many years ago in Scotland, even though in England, raw milk's legal when the Queen drinks it.
Yeah.
So, or Queen used to drink it, she's passed now.
That's why she lived so long.
100-something years old, wasn't it? Yeah, she had 6 cows at Buckingham Palace for years and years and years, and Charles drank it and all the kids and everything. Yeah, it was royal milk. So, yeah, raw milk's great for you, and it helps you live long, healthy life, and it's great stuff.
And there's no laws against it in the United States.
Oh, yeah. Well, California raw milk is legal, always has been. And my credit goes to Altadena, the big dairy in LA, because they were always standing the guard at the gate, make sure they didn't change the laws. But raw milk's always had legal raw milk at very high standards. Now, every state has their own standards. The FDA hates raw milk in any form because they have one standard, it's got to be pasteurized. And that's what they do. They mandate pasteurization. But in California, we can do what we want to do. Arizona has similar laws to California. The state of Washington does. Idaho has legal raw milk. Pennsylvania has legal raw milk. and Connecticut and Maine have legal raw milk. But anyway, it's a patchwork puzzle of state by state.
In California, it's legal.
Completely, 100%.
And by the way, it's just the most natural thing in the world. It's
Been
not
around for
like,
about 15,000
like
years.
You're doctoring with it or something. It just comes out of the cow. You cool it quickly, and then you sell it to the.
We do a few more things than that because it is so strict. We cannot have any pathogenic organisms in there, so we test it all. In fact, I'm very proud to announce we are the first dairy in the world to have an on-farm pathogen lab. We installed it about 3 months ago. It's a Thermo Fisher lab, AOAC and FDA approved. So now we can get our data back in 20 hours versus 48 hours. Right. So you don't have to wait a couple days. You get the data right away. You make decisions right away. So we're really excited about that. We have our own lab technicians and everything working on the farm.
Yeah. Now, it's natural. It's really good for you. It gets the gut. Why did they start pasteurizing?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
There's a cross to bear for raw milk because if you look at throughout all time, it was always pretty safe because if you had a cow or a goat or sheep or horse or a camel or reindeer, you could get milk then. You didn't have to wait around. But in those environments, a long time ago, let's say 500 years ago, you always had a fresh stream going by. You always had a pasture and sunshine. And you were very close to your animals. And we probably didn't have antibiotic resistance because we didn't have antibiotics. So we had, the bugs weren't as prevalent, as virile, as dangerous to the people. So raw milk and compatibility with humans was good. Now, go to the 1800s. People started moving into cities, big cities, and they started bringing their cows with them. Yeah. Well, there's no clean water in the city. Right. There's no pasture in the city. There's no sunshine. And so they were feeding the cows brewers, distillers' grains and filthy water conditions. And 40 to 50% of the people that drank the milk of the 1870s and 80s in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Chicago got sick, and many died. So that's the dark ages of raw milk. But if you take those cows out in the countryside, they were perfectly fine. So you kind of have these two stories about raw milk. Well, now we understand clearly what it takes to make raw milk, and we've got the ability to do it really, really well.
It's legal in California. Are there a lot of people doing it?
Well, there's only 6 dairies in California that have a permit from the state to produce raw milk. And we're the biggest. We're by far the biggest. We're the top seller in all the Sprout stores. But there's other places. Duvendorfin's doing it. San Martin's Dairy is doing it. Clarabelle's been doing it for many years. There's a place, Simply Bottled, Modesto's doing it. So there's many of us doing it, but we're the largest.
Okay. Now, we can get it, say the stores again, Sprouts?
Sprouts, Nugget, Lassen's Market in San Diego, in Bakersfield. We have an on-farm store that's quickly becoming the biggest store in California because we're selling more product. We have these 3 huge refrigerators, and we sell out every day.
Every day?
Every day we have to have our truck come by from the creamery and put more product in. We're building a brand new creamery, which is really exciting, which should be open by the end of next summer. And that's going to allow us to continue to grow with the capacity.
By the way, you're selling more than just milk.
We have raw milk kefir, which is fermented raw milk. It's like a yogurt. Butter, 2 kinds of butter, a cultured butter and a regular fresh cream butter. And then we've got cheeses, and we've also got, what else? Cream.
You brought me that cheese last time.
Yeah.
It was white cheddar.
It's cheddar. It's been aged 60 days, and it's never been heated above body temperature. So we're training all these really important bioactives we talked about there, so healing for your gut.
Now, the kefir. You gave me the kefir a while back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I said, what's it giving? This stuff tastes horrible. But the more you drink it, you start craving it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a sour. It has a 3.8 pH. Neutral is 6.5 to 7. So it's a little bit acidic, but what it is really, really good for is making a smoothie. You put it into a blender and add in whatever you want in there, berries, bananas, ice cream, add whatever you want in there. Bone broth, you can add whatever you want. Raw eggs, anyway, make a blender out of it. And now raw honey. And that is a fantastic gut healing food. Because remember, when you ferment raw milk, you get all the diversity, all the different kinds of bacteria to grow at extremely high levels.
I see.
And you really inoculate it. And it's super easy to digest because it's already pre-digested. It's fermented.
Can you get that at the local stores?
Sure can.
Sprouts is the only one I know that you mentioned. But
Sprouts.
I'm going to drive out to the dairy if that's
Come on
all right.
out sometime.
You have a big store out there?
Well, it's not big. It's a small one because, remember, our creamery burned down 2 years ago. So we're rebuilding everything, and it's going to be beautiful to have a park environment where people can come and play with their kids and see us and actually have a store and actually buy there at the farm. 7225 South Jamison, Fresno, California.
I'm going to head out there. I'm going to go out there and get some. Now, when we were kids, right in the middle of town here, there was Harpain's Dairy.
Yeah.
And that was an adventure to go there.
Yeah.
Any kind of adventure out there? Do we get to see a cow?
We do tours during the spring and fall, and they get to see the cows, get to see the cows being milked. and we talk to them and educate them about all the things we've talked about here, plus so much more.
Right. School tours, you do?
Yeah, we get huge yellow buses, school buses.
That's great.
We also get tour buses from Europe coming through.
Come through there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
They'll come by our place, and they go by Steve Maddox's place with awesome big dairy. He does a lot of genetics. Maddox Dairy is a great place. And they'll do our dairy and Maddox Dairy. We're only 4 miles apart.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
The dairy capital of the world.
We're becoming famous.
Yeah, it is. Raw milk. Oh, no, raw? What's it going to say on the carton?
It's going to say raw farm.
Raw farm.
But inside is raw milk.
Raw milk inside.
Yeah.
And you get the cheese,
Cheese, butter, cream, milk, kefir, all of them branded. It just says raw farm.
Raw farm.
And you got to remember my shirt here. It says raw goodness. And there's a little heart down here someplace. A little heart.
Yeah, gotcha.
We put love in there.
Heart. Last thoughts, Mark?
What's that?
Last thoughts?
Last thoughts? Take care of your gut.
Yeah.
Feed your children well.
Well, the thing about these, COVID's starting another pass-through.
Yeah.
So now's the time to build up that immunity.
Build it up. Yeah. Build it up. Remember, 22,000 people a year die from the flu.
Oh, my goodness.
You want to have a strong immune system.
Yeah, definitely. For our viewers, don't go anywhere. We're going to have another guest right after this. But thanks to Mark McAfee from Raw Farm. He's the CEO. We'll be right back. Oh, by the way, go to rawfarmusa.com.
Thank you.